Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. Lou Williams retired this offseason from his professional playing career, but he is one of the best bench players and six men in NBA history, and in this video we're going to dive into one aspect of his game, but overall his career stats: 14 points per game, 3.4 assists, shot 41 from the field, 35 from 3, 55% true shooting, just a lethal threat off the bench that came in and scored big time in a lot of big games. But in this video, we're going to specifically talk about his pick and roll scoring, where he was above the 90th percentile for most of his career, and he's highly effective, highly efficient in this area. And now let's dive into the film. So to start things off, let's talk about how Lou Williams was able to create an advantage in pick and roll situations. It all starts with his ability to manipulate his pace and direction. In a lot of these clips, you can see he goes fast to slow, slow to fast, changes direction multiple times as he sets up the ball screen. By changing his pace and direction multiple times when attacking off of a ball screen in the setup stage, in the first level of the ball screen attack, it allows his defender to get caught on the screen, giving him an advantage either with the coverage or just getting by, having space to operate, and getting a guy behind him after the screen. And one last thing, regardless of how he changes his pace, changes the direction, the angle of the screen, he's a very patient ball handler in the pick and roll. He allows the screener to get set, he allows the time and space to come off the screen with an advantage, and he's also patient in reading the coverage and making the right decision every time. Now, once Lou had these advantages in the pick and roll with his change of direction, change of pace, and his patience, he was able to come off and score at all three levels depending on the advantage and the space. There in the first clip, you can see him able to get downhill, find cracks and openings, and finish around the cup. This clip here, you can see him go with the big, still make that floater. To talk about his float game a little bit more, in this clip here, as he comes off with the advantage, you can see that he is moving toward the rim, and in that motion, he has the balance and body control to still get up a good shot. Balance and body control are two main aspects of having an effective floater, and when it comes to the release, he was able to get it up high over the defense with great touch. Another thing about scoring in the pick and roll for him, you can see in a lot of these clips when the big ended up one-on-one with his defender behind him, he did a great job at engaging that big man and making him make decisions for him. If the big sunk off, he was able to get downhill, get deep into the paint, and get to that second level. If the big kind of stopped him and slowed him down, he was able to get to his mid-range shot. Here, though, we'll talk more about that mid-range shot. He was able to score with a variety of feet. His balance and body control, regardless of the situation, was elite. Whether it was a 1-2 quick stop, a transition fade, a flyby, just a variety of ways he was able to get to his pull-up jumper in the second level was incredible. But it's all because he's able to engage that big man in coverage and make them make the decision for him. The guy that's guarding him is behind him, he is out of the play, and then he goes at that big head on, sees what he's doing, whether he's sinking back, guarding him, and he's able to make the right read in these situations. And then when it comes to that third level scoring, if he had the space to pull it from beyond the arc, he was more than capable and willing to do so, and he was able to create space off the bounce for these shots too. And the last part of his pick and roll game as a ball handler we want to talk about is the way he was so elite at rejecting the ball screen. From the setup to the change of pace and direction, getting to a spot and knocking it down in these situations was one of the best in the league at the time, and probably still one of the best in NBA history. You can see in these clips he does a tremendous job at setting up the rejection. First, changing the direction toward the screen, quickly changing and violently changing direction. By doing so, opening up the on-ball defender's hips, allowing him to get by and play with an advantage against a non-set, rotating defense that was preparing for the screen to be used. I think Lou Williams, his ability to reject the ball screen came down to his change of pace and direction that we talked about at the beginning of the video, but just in a different way. He was more purposeful, more violent in these. His reads tended to turn to, oh, make me use the ball screen first for a little bit, and once they get comfortable, I'm going to make them uncomfortable by rejecting it. It was a kind of a mind game, and he understood that he can get an advantage by doing this. But at the end of the day, the change of pace, change of direction was definitely what allowed him to be so successful in rejecting the ball screen and creating advantages in doing so. Scoring in the pick and roll is one of the most unique things in the modern NBA. A lot of guys can do it, and a lot of guys do it in a unique way to them. Lou Williams fits that description, using violent changes in direction and pace, allowing him to get to his spots, be an elite second level guy, but also having the ability to get to the cup and also score from three. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about Lou Williams, his game, his career. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.